Let me just welcome everyone once again to the Lead Track and Field podcast. Yours truly, Sean Garrity, inside the building. I think I need to come down some in the camera. But nonetheless, we have a very good show lined up for you. With big topic coming out of Jamaica, Usain Bolt. But before we get into that, even though Usain Bolt's been gone, he's still relevant in the sport of track and field. But before we get into that, just want to thank our sponsors, The Dribbler. Just remember, get your stuff right now. You can check them out at IG, Fueling Your Passion. Check them out at IG, The Dribbler Sports. And of course, this is a presentation of The Road to Champs alongside Jamaicans.com with a rebroadcast on Listen to Us Radio and Super Jams on The Sean Show. All right, so we've got a special guest inside the building. Even though you won't be able to see him, but you'll hear him. All right, and before we get to him, let's see if Mike works. How you doing, boss?
Doing great, man. Doing great.
All right, good. So here's what we got going on today. We have Usain Bolt in the news because one Fred Kerley says that the record is extremely very realistic. All right, the record is realistic. And we're going to talk about that, but just to mention something that Usain Bolt did just recently. Bolt recently made a multi-million-dollar donation to his alma mater, William Knibb Memorial High School. It was made in collaboration with the Digital Foundation and sports game manufacturer Puma. Of course, the 8-time Olympic champion made the announcement on a visit to the school on Wednesday past. He says he's donating $2 million to the sports program. Digital is going to, as of today, provide free internet service, a savings to the school of $2 million annually, and Puma, which has been sponsor over the years, will be providing sporting apparel for all the teams, whatever the cost. He announced to a gathering of students and teachers. Of course, the principal, Miss Lynn Vernwright, she was extremely overwhelmed by the generosity of all involved. Principal Lynn Vernwright, right? So this will go a far way in helping the school's sporting budget. Of course, cannot express enough thanks to all involved. It's good that somebody like Usain Bolt would be in your corner. So, Patrick, what going on, brother?
Not much. I'm here, man. I'm here.
So, what do you think, man? Usain Bolt dropping that dough on the school?
Yeah, I think that's great. I think he's a philanthropist. Very humble dude. Know a little bit about him, So I think that's great. That's great for a country school. Getting $2 million plus. But with what Bolt has done for Jamaica and to the world, I think it's great to see someone giving back to their community.
Okay, so Usain Bolt here, giving it back to his community. I mean, there's something that I always wonder about with the athletes in Jamaica. Some of them, a few of them, a couple of them make a lot of money, but their level of direct involvement sometimes seems a little low and slow. What do you make of that? Is that something that we should be having an expectation from them, or is it's too much to ask?
I think we should, and I guess it all depends on the individual you are, including you and myself. We give back based on our involvement in the sport, and based on we look back at kids who need help, and you'd want to ensure that they get some help, So,
Yeah.
To me, it's always about the individual and their humanitarian efforts.
Mm-hmm. So you won't put it on them to say, yo, you make a certain amount of money, you need to do this already.
I would love for them to give back, but it's gonna be about, as I said, the individual. If you want to give back some money, throw back some money, and it's good for Bolt because he has Digicel and Puma behind him, so that's a plus for him, and for the school.
I mean, it is a plus for him. It is a plus for the school. But one thing for me with the whole thing is when I think about some of the shortfalls that happen in the sport nationally, right, in Jamaica, as great as we say boys and girls champs is, as great as we say the national champs are, as great as we say our infrastructure is, there are so many gaps in the system that I think it's a shame that more has not or is not being done by way of the athletes directly involvement in the sport. That's something I look at. You know,
Yeah, and I support what you're saying. I think more should have been done. I would love to see more academies, or is there another name for developmental programs going on where these athletes at least would um, give back more to different groups, even at the primary school level. I would love to see more donation being given to the primary school level. Those athletes, even if they cannot connect individually to a primary school, they could get someone to be in the program who can help those students to aspire to becoming great as they are
you,
or
you,
they were.
but that's not even the tip of the iceberg for me. I look at when I talk about infrastructure, I look at how the stadium is,
Yes.
right? I look at how the timing system is, the sound system, the time system reporting especially is so lagging, right? That I don't understand how is it that if Jamaica is the mecca of track and field, why and how is it that you have so many stars coming through making their living off of this sport, but yet still we still don't have a proper reporting system when it comes to the track meets? And why is the reporting system important? Because even though the times are accurate, the times are legit, right? IAAF are ratified. My issue is that it shouldn't take that long for results to be uploaded. It shouldn't take that long for us to see real time stuff happening in races. It shouldn't be where, months after or 2 weeks after the event, you still don't have results that are up to date on the site. And these things diminish the audience experience.
So who is to be blamed here? Are you blaming, say, athletes for not throwing back funds into the development of the whole J3As, or are you blaming the J3As?
I'm saying that even though the J3 is always crying about they don't have any money, right? What I'm looking at is why is it that we would laud the athletes and everybody wants a statue to be made of themselves as soon as they win 2 gold medals or whatever, and the crowd goes berserk for that action, but no one is saying we need a better stadium, we need a better timing system, we need a better website, we need a system where more people can be included in what happens in the track and field world in Jamaica. Because the first thing they're going to say is that we don't have the money, we don't have the money, we don't have the money. But nobody's asking you to save the whole organization.
Yeah.
Do you have $100? Do you have $500, $1,000, $100,000, whatever it is?
Probably
There is not that system to get the crowd involved.
I'm not sure if they are. Probably they should have a give back program as it relates to the athletes, for them to give back something to whether it's to a foundation, where this foundation would be mainly to develop whether
Infrastructure, yeah, certain things.
So it probably is something that J3s could look into, the athletes themselves could look into, if they really believe in the country and believe in track and field. And just to add one more thing, I remember
Yeah.
years ago, I have a very good friend who was a top-notch coach at one of those high schools. And I remember back then he was saying he wished that the support that football in Jamaica is getting, he would see that in track and field. And now track and field is like at the creme de la creme, but where is the support? What is Digital Cell and Puma doing to help with, like, I think they should be the ones who are assisting, because they get a lot of mileage out of the whole track and field, because those athletes become their ambassadors. So they should be given back to the J3s or a foundation, because you know how Jamaica is. The money goes to J3s,
Yeah.
and probably you don't see where that money goes, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's probably a part of the root cause of the issue why people don't want to pony up. But still, there is no system of partnership with providers, of partnership with vendors that will allow the average citizen to be a part of it in the level they want to. For example, there is no official branded T-shirt. For example, just a minor example, where is the J3 Olympic T-shirt or World Champs T-shirt or just the association T-shirt that you could purchase?
Yeah, that's one of my issue. You
see
know,
what I'm saying?
I was looking. You see those athletes in those Puma T-shirts,
Yeah.
and you want a Puma T-shirt to buy.
Yeah.
Can you get one to buy?
Can I get one to buy?
No,
No. Your child's got to run fast, make the team to get a T-shirt.
Yeah, yep. Or you have some contacts.
Links.
Yeah, you have some links, and you might get a T-shirt.
You know, I never competed for Jamaica, but you know, I had friends who did, and some of them, you know, they'll give you a T-shirt, they give you a gears or a spikes or something. Those things felt really good, and I always wondered to myself, okay, I can't make the team, great, okay, because they're really, you know, I'm running against some really good people. But my question is, can I just walk into Sports Plus or wherever it is?
Puma is a brand for itself. Puma should have a storefront in Jamaica. Do they have one in Jamaica?
You see, even those things, I don't even know if they have a Puma store. Anybody from Jamaica who know if Puma have a store? But even something like that, Virgin, they could just have a store. And you buy a T-shirt, you buy a spikes, you buy a bag, you buy a hat, something where, you know, 2%, $10, whatever it is,
How
goes
much
back to the organization.
How much money did Usain, or how much money does Usain Bolt makes Puma? What are they really giving back to Jamaica? $2 million.
Yeah.
How much money is that really to
$2
Jamaica?
million, that's if a US dollars, we can't tell us not enough money that, because I looked at a job posting the other day. No, earlier today I looked at a job posting. It was $3.6 million is the job offer, right? Annually. And I was like, wow, that looks like a lot of money, $3.6 million. But then when I did the conversion, it was only like $25,000.
That's in Jamaica?
Yeah, that was in Jamaica. So I'm just saying to myself, I'm not taking on that responsibility for $25,000.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, so Bolt made that multi-million-dollar donation to the album, and I mean it's a good gesture.
No, very good.
But we definitely want to see more being done by past athletes, because even the other when Asafa came on was crying that this and that, and the third about the fact that, you know, athletes, you know, they have it hard and so forth and so forth. I'm like, Mr. Asafa Powell, please have several seats. Because that's not you.
No, it couldn't be him.
You know, you've been there, done that, and it's a long time ago. But you know, come on, man. Anyhow, so this is a presentation right here of the lead. So we're going into the next topic of Usain Bolt's records. Right? Question is, can Usain Bolt's records be broken? You know, there's a lot being said, you know, because most recently, what's his name? USA, right? We saw an article, right, where Fred Kerley believes that lowering Usain Bolt's world record is very realistic and wants to change the game once he's finished gardening, right? So coming off the article, the American world champion is buoyed by his success in Eugene and dashing to a personal best of 9.76. Now, last June, that had him lying sixth in the all-time 100-meter list. But he obviously feels he can go faster. You know, that's what athletes do. You challenge yourself to get faster, to get stronger and everything, right? But he wants to completely dominate the men's 100, and that means taking on the world record. The reigning world champion at the distance confirmed his status as one of the best sprinters in history by winning in Eugene 2022, where he led an American sweep of the medals. Remember, America won 1, 2, 3 in the 100 and 200 using 6 guys. Right? Nobody doubled. 6 guys. So Usain Bolt's record is 9.58, set back in 2009 at the World Athletics Championships, with Tyson Gay and Johan Blake coming in at 9.69. Now, after dashing to 9.76 within 2 hour span, USA Track and Field Championship in June, Kerley feels the target is achievable. He says it's very realistic. Everything is realistic. Bolt, Wade, and all of the American greats, they put the bar up there for us to do it. Kerley said in an interview with The Independent on his plans to change the game forever. What do you make of that statement, Patrick?
I could ask a few questions. Is Curly being cocky? No, I don't think he is.
What do you think he's being? You think he's being realistic?
I think he's very realistic. I'm a Jamaican, but I have to speak the truth. You know, the bars are set. Why are bars set? Why are records set?
Speaking of bars, remember Bill Frosberry, when he went backwards over the high jump bar? That totally changed the game.
When he did the Fosbury flop.
Right.
A lot of youngsters might not know, and if you don't study sports, you would know that.
That's
why it's called the Fosbury flop.
That's why it's called that.
Yes.
You know, but if you go back to when Ben Johnson ran the record, I think Ben Johnson's record was 989.
Yes.
When he crossed the line in Seoul with a hand up.
Yeah.
Only to find out a couple of days later when that record was set, for those few days that record was in the books. It was never ratified because it goes through a process after that for ratification. People were in awe that a man has ran 989. But now 989 is what you need to get that silver medal. 99 will probably still get you a medal. 99 will get you into the final and get you, in the top 6.
Mm-hmm.
So the game has changed.
Yep.
Maurice Green came and brought it down a little bit. There might have been one or two guys in between there, another one or two guys. Then Safa Powell came. Then
Tyson was there too.
Tyson had a record at one point?
I don't know why.
I'm just talking about the record holders.
Yeah.
Just talking about the record holders. Mm-hmm. But then comes Usain Bolt. 2009, he dashes to 9.58.
At age 23?
Yes, a very young man,
Yeah.
right? And the world goes in awe, and Jamaicans love it. And that's the start of a pure Jamaican dominance for the next 8 years or so,
Yeah.
right? Who is it, do you think, could beat Usain Bolt's record?
This little young man from Botswana.
You think about Swanan?
Yes.
Just talk more close to my. Just put your chair back a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
So the Botswanan, let's see is his name. Let's see Tebogo. Let's seal Tebogo.
Tebogo.
Now, his what you call it now, profile is a very colorful one because he's 19.
Yeah.
Right?
He has age.
He's 19.
And he's running 9.91.
Right? He's ran 9.91 and his 200 meters 19.96.
Yeah.
He's won gold in the under 20
World champion.
world champs in the 100.
Yes.
And he got silver in the 200
Yeah.
in both 2021 and 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also, in the process of his career, has broken Usain Bolt's age group record, namely the under 18 100-meter record.
Okay.
So he's broken some of his records already. Then you have Arian Knighton, the 200-meter specialist, who's ran, let me look at my notes, 19.49. So you talk to me now about those apples.
Yeah.
Do you think both records could be broken? And is it Kerley, is it Tebogo, or Knighton who's going to do those damages? Talk to me.
I'm going with Tebogo and Knighton if it is. I'm not saying Curly won't, but young promising athletes, and I'm the type of person, I believe in, I always say this, you were once a rookie, because the Bolt of today was once a rookie.
Yeah. I remember that when you went to the first meet.
Yeah.
I think his first Olympics, 2004?
I
Yeah, 2004, and he pulled a muscle
hmm
in the 200.
yeah.
A lot of people don't remember that, because your winnings overshadow.
Yeah, you're winning. So, yeah, so I look at Bolt and how he has grown or
Hmm.
matured, and I think Tebogo, if I get his name right,
Hmm.
if you look at that um, record run,
Hmm.
this kid is a young Usain Bolt, pointing fingers and you know, eh, eh,
I
I
kid you
think
not. The first time I saw him run, I was like, I didn't know Usain Bolt was still running.
yeah,
And then he was in blue, and I was
yeah,
like scratching my head, like, who is this guy?
yeah.
Right? But he runs, acts like Bolt when he does the.
Yeah, yeah, and this kid's idolize Bolt,
He clearly.
and if you, in my research, I found out like when he did the 9.91, Usain Bolt commented, so people are saying that he idolized Bolt, he wants to meet Bolt, but Usain Bolt is watching,
So
you know.
he hasn't met Bolt as yet.
I don't, based on, I'm not sure if they have met, but based on what I read, they have not met.
Let me tell you, the scary thing about Tebogo is when you look at his age, he would have ran at champs this year.
Yeah.
People think about that. He would have run at champs this year. I don't think he would have been eligible for next year. He would have been aged out.
Yeah.
And I think so too would be Arian Knighton, right? Because Arian is still 18, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
right? Because Arian just graduated high school in the U.S., right? Because he missed his graduation for the championship meet. Of course, let me know your comments. Do you think Usain Bolt's record could be broken? Or if you think so, who do you think is going to break his record? Is it Tebogo? Is it Kerley? Is it Knighton? Knighton, I think both the youngsters, Knighton and Tebogo, have way more upside to breaking the records that Bolt has set. But the fact that Kerley came on and said it has definitely put a spotlight on one, Fred Kerley, and on two, the propensity or the chance that someone could do it. Because, for a very long time, you would probably think that those records are going to not be touched for a little while. But even Fred Kerley, he has a personal best of 9.76, 19.80. He actually went 19.75 with the wind. And of course, he's coming up from the 400 at 44.47, which is a much faster personal best than Usain Bolt did before he came down. So what did you find?
No, I'm amazed. I'm smiling. This kid was born on my birthday. Yeah, he's 18 years old.
Right. So he could run at champs next year.
Yep.
All right. Let's figure that out.
He's 18. He'll be 19 in January, so he could run at champs next year.
He could.
Yep. And at 19.49.
I wonder if one of the big three is going to try to make a run at him. Calamar, Casey, or Chase. Are they going to make a run to try to get Knighton on the team next year? Bring him down for sixth farm. 1 year, sixth farm.
Probably Casey.
Oh. I mean,
they have the money. They have the power, man. They can do it. Can Calabar or JC do it?
I don't think those two teams could do that. I really don't think so. But the point we're making is that he's a very young kid, and there's a lot of upside to that. And he doesn't have the body of work that some of those athletes that he's probably going to run against would have had.
Yeah.
Even though Jamaica has their Akeem Blake and Oblique Seville, those are guys a little bit older, probably about 2 or 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, the upside is with Knighton. I think Knighton will get that 200, even though I was a little concerned with how he looked at the World Championships. Yes, he got a medal, probably the youngest guy that I've gotten a medal. But for me, he did not look ready, so to speak.
Fright.
Right. And I'm not sure if that light gets the better of him every time he has a chance to break the record.
But give him a chance. Just as you mentioned, Usain Bolt earlier at a younger age.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he should be given a chance. And, America is going to take care of their athletes.
Right.
Because they want to prove that they are the dominant in men's, you know, because that's what they have to hold on to right now. While Jamaica continues to, you know, lead in the females. So I think they will take care of that young man, and they will ensure that he gets to where they would love him to go. You know.
Now, speaking of taking care of records, right? What about even on the female side? You know, can Elaine get the 100-meter record, or Shelley and can Sherika get that 200-meter record?
That's a far stretch. Yeah, honest.
Why do you say it's a far stretch?
That records look. What is Elaine now? We're talking about how many seconds? 200? Is it 200 off?
Yeah, 200.
200ths of a second for the world record.
She's at 21:45, right? That's where Sherika went. And what's the record? 21:35 or 39?
Probably 35.
Let's do a quick Google search, family, because we want to know, is Bolt's record in danger? And if so, on the men's side, is Flojo's records now on the edge, on the chopping block? Let us know your comments in the comment section, because we'd love to find out your take on it as well, because I believe that those records will be broken. There is a point where the records won't be broken anymore, but go ahead. They might change the sport.
The 100 meter is 10.49.
Right.
Let's look at the 200 meter.
So Flojo's 100 meters record is 10.49, and Elaine ran 10.54. So 0.05 separates her from the record. But with this coaching change and new management structure, I don't know if it is going to happen for Elaine.
And the
200 meters is what?
21.34.
21:34. So I was close.
Yeah.
So 21:45. So she's what? 0.11, which is about equivalent to what the difference is in the 100 meters. So people don't like those records because of the allegations.
Yeah, the allegations behind the
right?
records.
Which I think is a farce, that they have these ideas that the records are not legit, because I think those records are extremely legit. So please, just leave it alone.
We can leave it alone. We can discuss it.
We can discuss it after dinner.
Yes.
But back to Bolt, though. I think, again, not to beat a dead horse, but the record is most likely going to be broken. The 100 meters is going to be broken by Tobago. That's my guess. If anyone is to do it in my lifetime, it may happen after our lifetime.
Yeah, it may.
You know?
But I'm giving him a chance.
To do it.
Yes, to do it. Let's see how we progress. Let's see how we grow, you know. And what will... This kid is coming from out of nowhere. Strictly raw talent, you know. And
did you find out who's his coach?
I don't even know the guy's name, man. I can't even call his name.
Oh, let's put it that way. You can't even call his name.
Yeah. So, and he gave credit to his former coach plus his present coach to where he's at where he's at today. You know. Yeah.
All right, man. But end of the day, the records are on the thread. Both the 100 and the 200. They're fast, but it's still within a lot of people's grasp, because when you look at the men's 100 meters nowadays, it has really transformed itself into the sub 9.8 territory. And it's just a matter of time when 9.7 is going to be the standard, and 9.4, 9.3 is what you're going to have to run to win. Yep. And there is going to be a point where it levels off, because, you know, the human body does have limits. Because I don't think we're going to get down to 0.00. You know, you run that fast.
Yeah.
Nobody sees you.
No, we are going to want to find out if the sport is still clean or the sport is getting dirty again, you know?
But I think, though, there will be changes in the sport as you go along to facilitate faster times, as, you know, human beings reach their limit. There will be some changes to the sport. Will it happen in my lifetime? I don't know, but I'd love to see some changes. You know, we've seen changes from hand time. We've seen changes from from hand time to electronic. We've seen changes from certain grass tracks to
Tracks are getting faster.
to rubber. And no, they're designing the spikes as well to give the athlete more return, so they run a little bit faster. So there will be improvements in the sport that will help the human natural ability to extend itself a little bit further.
Yeah.
But we're coming up on the time for us to get up out of here. We definitely appreciate you for checking out the lead this episode where Usain Bolt's records are in trouble, man. So just keep it locked in. And of course, as always, be sure to stay with us right here at Jamaicans.com for more wonderful programming from the Caribbean's perspective. And on behalf of Patrick, my name is Sean. I'll be back next week with more on the lead.